Something we have to be brutally honest about when it comes to your retirement is volatility is going to feel much more painful when you transition into retirement and even the years leading up to. Here's what I'm talking about. Your portfolio or your nest egg, the money that you've saved up for retirement, is really the only thing keeping you separated from having to go back to work. So anytime that's even slightly threatened, anytime you see the news talk about the stock market being down, or anytime you see the economy is going in the wrong direction, you're going to be somewhat fearful regardless of how much you have, because that's just human nature, right? We're all humans with cell phones, and regardless of if we want to be exposed to the headlines in today's world, somehow media finds a way to do so. Here's what I say. Since that volatility is going to be felt, something that's helpful to keep in mind is having a bucket of cash on the side as you're leading up to retirement and as you're in retirement. If I use 2008 as an example, you know that the stock market went down roughly 50% at one point. And while the market did in the following 2 years do, I think, 24 and 13%, during that time, there was a lot of sting felt by investors. Now, it's an extreme example, and I hope that during your retirement, another 2008 doesn't happen. But what keeping a bucket of cash on the sideline did represent for those who did have this opportunity, thankfully to them, is that they were able to depend on this cash while the market was down. They let the market do its thing. It returned in the following 2 years, as I mentioned, and then dipped back into their portfolio. So I know this might be a luxury that's not available to all, but it is something that I want you to consider. If you are someone that locks in your losses, know that this is one of the most damaging things to your retirement. This is known as sequence of return risk. It's a fancy way of saying that I locked in losses early on in retirement, and therefore the rest of my retirement is impacted because of it. So always keep in mind this as you get closer to retirement, that volatility is going to sting a little bit more than in your working days when you have an income and cash flow coming in.